Hi guys, I am going to walk you through an example of how to create a stem and leaf plot. So let's go ahead and get started. So we have this data set given right here, and we should reference our notes for step 1 of the process, which is always going to be order your data. So I'm just going to say order numbers. We're going to order the data that's given to us. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Looks like we have 60 and then 68. After that, it looks like we jump to 75 a couple times, then 76 and 79. We have 81, 82, 86 and 88 after that. Then we have 91 and 92. Let's make sure I got them all. So for me, I'm crossing them off as I go, so I know for a fact I got all of them. For you, you might consider counting up both values in the sets to make sure you have an equal amount, to make sure you didn't accidentally miss any. All right, so our next step is going to be creating our stem and leaf plot, and we are going to start with our stems, and then we are going to branch off and create a key that represents our set. So I'm going to start that off right now, key. And let's go ahead and do that. So in order to do that, we want to look at what our data ranges from. So our lowest value is 60. Our highest value is 92. So if that's true, we think about what would be a good value to place for our stems in our stem and leaf plot. So all of this data is within the tens place. So the data, in this case, our stem should represent the tens place and our leaf should represent the ones place. That means my stem is going to range from 6 all the way to 9. So I'm going to go 6, 7, 8, and 9. And my leaves are just going to show the corresponding values from this set. So before we get started, I'm going to create a key so our audience knows how to read this. So my key, I'm just going to take an example from our set. So let's say 7/5 is going to equal 75. And that way our audience knows how to read this data set when they're reading it. All right, so I'm just going to go through my list in order. My first value is 60, so the 6 already represents the 60. I'm going to put a 0 for the leaf. Then I have 68, so I'm just going to put an 8 to represent this. No commas needed, just put a little space in between. So all of our values in the 60s are done. Move on to 7, so we have 75, so I put a 5. Another 75, so I put another 5. 76, so I put a 6. 79, so I put a 9. Now we are on to the 80s, so move to the 8 on the stems. We have 81, I'm going to put a 1. We have 82, I'm going to put a 2. We have 86, so I put a 6, and 88, so I put an 8. We are on to the last two values in the 90s, so move to the 9. We have 91, I'm going to put a 1, and 92, I'm going to put a 2. All right, so that's how you create a stem and leaf plot. A key, which we already made, is a very important component to this because it allows our audience to know what each value represents. The stem and leaf plot won't always be for the tens and the ones place. It just depends on your data set. So let's say our data instead ranged from 6.0 to 9.2. In that case, our stem would have represented the ones and our leaf would have represented the tenths place. And in that case, 7/5 would have given us 7.5. So this is why it's really important for us to include that key, because it allows our audience to know what each value in our set represents. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out. You can create your own examples now and go ahead and try your independent practice.